Let me explain the T-bars to you. When you see a question on the exam and the question has something to do with qualifying the buyer, whether it be minimum income or maximum loan amount, the T-bars are the same and it'll look like this. If you don't mind, give me a second to set it up and I'll come back and explain what everything means. Okay, these are my T-bars, where HE stands for housing expense. HE stands for housing expense. Housing expense, listen, please write this down. Actually, I'll do you a favor, I'll write it down. Housing expense is PI and TI. Housing expense is PI and TI. Technically speaking, your housing expense would also include if you had to pay a HOA, a homeowners association. It would also include PMI if you had to pay private mortgage insurance because you put down a low down payment. Typically speaking, for pre-licensed candidates, we test you on PI, TI. The way I think of housing expense is, what would it cost you to own the home, even if you never turned your utilities on or bought groceries or anything like that? You're going to have to pay these guys regardless. Okay, PITI, okay? When you look at GMI, GMI stands for gross monthly income. Actually, both of those words are key. I should have inflected on both of them. Gross monthly income. Not what you have left after you pay the tax man, but what you made that month. Gross monthly income, right? And then the ratios. I'm going to come back and revisit the ratios in just a moment. But when the bank looks at you, they apply ratios to you to determine how much you can afford. Hold that thought. I will come back to it in just a moment. Let me introduce one more topic. When the lender looks at you, obviously one thing that they want to know about you as a borrower is your income. How much money do you make? Or how much are we going to loan you based on your income? But what's the other thing that lenders want to know about you other than income? Your other debt. Your other debt. This is what I call the income ratio, and the back end I call the debt ratio. And notice the only difference between these two. You see that LTD? That's what I refer to as long-term debt. For test questions, you may see it called long-term debt. You may see it called recurring debt. Or you may simply see it called debt other than housing. So see if this makes sense to you. Up here, all they're doing is looking at the relationship between what it takes to own the house, your housing expense, and your income. And on the back end, what the bank is looking at is your total debt in relationship to your income. Does that make sense? Now watch these ratios. The ratios I'm getting ready to show you are fairly typical of conventional loans. Now we haven't talked a lot about loans yet, but later we'll talk about conventional FHA and VA. But at the end of the day, these are just numbers to you. We will tell you what numbers to plug in. But it's fairly typical that conventional ratios are 28% and 36%. Is there logic to the fact that the back end allows for greater debt? Because the back end includes what? All of your debt. So what the bank is saying is, man, we'd love to qualify you up here, but because this is America, there's a lot of people running around with a lot of other debt. A lot of people have a couple of car payments, student loan payment, that rooms to go furniture payment, all right? So that's why they take this into consideration, okay? Now what does this mean? From the bank's standpoint, when they give you these ratios, what they're telling you is they do not want your housing expense to exceed 28% of your gross monthly income. And we do not want your total debt to exceed 36% of your gross monthly income. Okay, does that make sense now? Listen, if you go out and rent an apartment today, they actually apply ratios to you even when you're renting an apartment. But this, if you're borrowing money, they absolutely apply ratios to you. Logically, so far so good? Okay? Cut the tape for just a moment. Let me write a question.